Welcome back to the Carnivore News, where the news is always meaty. I'm your host, Kelly Hogan. Dan Sorensen plays football for the Kansas City Chiefs and announced this week that he has been on the carnivore diet for the past 12 months. In a statement this week, he said, "I've never felt better. As an athlete, I take my training and nutrition very serious. That's why I choose to fuel my body with only the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, meat. And that's why I just officially became a Chiefs fan. I'm not even sure how football works, but I just ordered $200 worth of Chiefs gear. We are pulling for you, number 49. Go Big Red!" Writer Toy Staff wrote an article last week called "For 2 Million Years, Humans Ate Meat and Little Else Study." Yes, catchy title, I like it. Tel Aviv University researchers say that Stone Age humans were hunters that ate little to no vegetation and only ate animals. The results, which were published in the yearbook of the American Physical Anthropology Association, rules out the very notion that there were ever any vegetarian people groups until very recent human history. Likely because we only recently became so woke that we forgot how nature works. The researchers used genetics, metabolism, physiology, morphology, and archaeology of tool development to determine that humans are, in fact, primarily carnivorous. Also, if you put bacon and broccoli on a high chair tray, even a toddler could have easily answered that question. Still, it is always good to have these things reaffirmed by someone over age 2. A US-based website that shares news stories and cultural commentary called Jezebel.com just published an article about the women of carnivore, written by Kelly Ann Bonner. The article had more slant than the Golden Arches themselves. After sharing a few inspiring success stories that Ms. Bonner had read in the Facebook group Women's Carnivore Tribe, she then said, quote, "High meat intake, particularly red meat, leads to a higher risk for heart disease and mortality." She cited no source upon which to base that statement, but just threw it out as if it's fact. It's not. She then asked Professor Norna Allen if there is any potential that the carnivore diet could be good for you. Norna Allen said, "We haven't seen any positive effects of just eating red meat in our studies, no." But what Norna Allen failed to mention is that there have been exactly 0 studies done on humans who eat an all-meat diet. None. That would have been valuable information to mention, Ms. Allen. Though not mentioned in this article at all, it's possible that Ms. Bonner was referring to the study cited by the good old World Health Organization. There were, in fact, 6 studies that were referenced by the World Health Organization to attempt to demonstrate the dangers of eating meat and to show its association with cancer and mortality. However, those 6 studies were almost all exclusively done on rats that were fed carcinogens with their meat, as well as a chow that included brains. None of the studies cited by the WHO were done on humans that ate an all-meat or even animal-based diet. None. Because those studies simply don't exist. But maybe Norna Allen did not know that. In the article, Bonner also says, and I quote, "Carnivores aren't interested in peer-reviewed scientific studies or established academic sources, in part because they feel misled by mainstream nutrition science." You think? That's because many of us followed the mainstream nutrition science for years, Ms. Bonner, and we ended up like most Americans are today, overweight, diabetic, inflamed, and miserable. If Ms. Bonner thinks that any of us just flippantly gave up all other food groups simply to lose a few pounds or to fit into Cousin Christina's sherbet chiffon bridesmaid gown, she clearly isn't really listening. Many of us came here because we were sick, and this is literally the only thing that made us feel better. Can you imagine if she had written the same article about people who are allergic to peanuts? Would she have also called them dogmatic for not eating peanuts? Would she have used the word fanaticism or said that they had supposedly cured their symptoms by simply avoiding the very food that causes them to suffer? Perhaps Ms. Bonner and the carnivore opponents would like to see me return to 262 pounds with boils on my backside again. Perhaps they think Michaela Peterson should have stuck to her old plant-inclusive diet until she needed another ankle replacement while remaining on antidepressants and arthritis medications until she died an early death. Would Ms. Bonner prefer that Karen Miles hobble up and down steps due to arthritis instead of hiking the countryside with a belly full of meat and a smile? Would she prefer that my friend Amanda remain obese and struggling with symptoms of PCOS forever instead of just eating meat and feeling awesome? So no, Ms. Bonner, we won't be adding back other foods simply because our mothers told us we should eat our veggies, or because the government was influenced by lobbyists to put grains on the largest portion of the food pyramid, or even because you decided to announce that meat is bad. No, We're going to keep eating the exact foods that bring down our inflammation, as is evidenced by our minuscule CRP numbers, glowing skin, lack of pain, and joyful hearts. We're going to eat the foods that are packed with all of the essential nutrients while still allowing our blood sugar to remain steady, keeping our circulating insulin at a minimum, and helping us to feel our most mentally stable and physically well. And if we do feel like sharing, we'll continue getting the blood work done to prove that our health is actually improving the longer we do the total opposite of what the health industry would have us to do. And since healthy patients make $0 for the pharmaceutical industry, I would not expect them to get on board anytime soon. But at the end of the day, carnivores will eat exactly what allows us to live our best lives: meat. On the plus side, there is no such thing as bad publicity, and even this condescending article has brought many more people into the carnivore groups this week. Carnivore Facebook membership requests are up, baby! So in the end, any mention of a meat-based diet in a mainstream media article is great news. So thank you, Kelly and Bonner. Please feel free to mention us carnivore freaks any and every time that you please. Just tag me. And this, my friends, is just another reason that we need to fully fund the carnivore clinical trials. Click the link below to give a few dollars so that we can show people what really happens to humans when we are fed an ancestrally appropriate diet that's full of meat and devoid of seed oils, refined grains, sugar, processed chemicals, dyes, and addictive additives. In other news, the carnivore community came together this week in a united front against Kale. That's right, Kale. In the same week, Dr. Paul Saladino, Judy Cho, and Dave Asprey all came out with public statements against Kale. Dave let us know that Kale accumulates thallium, which is an extremely toxic metal, and that it protects itself with a toxin called oxalic acid, which is linked to kidney stones, gout, autism, and vaginal pain. Gout is a serious issue, sure, but vaginal pain is where I draw the line. A hard line, folks. Judy Cho says that over 92% of kale has residue from at least 2 pesticides, even after washing and peeling. Some of the kale that was tested had 18 pesticides. In my house, 5 or 6 is our absolute maximum per meal, so this is utterly unacceptable. Also, almost 60% of the kale samples showed residual dactyl, which is a pesticide that is considered a possible human carcinogen. And that's why it is actually banned in the European Union, but not in the US. No, we just allow kale to be sprayed down with dactyl, plenty of it, likely because many of us Americans have never heard of it and will eat anything with the word superfood across it. But what we all know is that kale tastes like total garbage. So if you're looking for further reasons to not eat something that tastes 45,000 times worse than a steak and is 87,000 times more likely to poison you, check out Dr. Saladino, Judy Cho, and Dave Asprey's posts, which are linked below. Or just ask the advice of any cat, dog, or human child who will gladly share their clear choice. And now we'll take a quick break to hear from Kale. What is up? Did y'all hear the big news? There's going to be a meetup in Austin, Texas. Yeah, freaking ho, y'all. Judy Cho, Laura Spath, Keto Mary 71, Lone Star, Keto Girl Amber, the Keto Road, Food Lies, they're all going. And I'm showing up just for selfies with them all, baby. I wonder if I could borrow some of Mary's shoes or get Laura to autograph my chapstick. I want to slap Amber on the rear and I don't even know why, but I think she'd let me. I'm gonna show up with the tomahawk steak thrown over my shoulder like a rifle. It is gonna be lit. Y'all should come. Do it. Just show up May 1st. Come on, think about it. I almost forgot. Vanessa Spina, she has announced the gender of her baby. You wanna know? Do you want to know? Okay. It's a boy. Oh, I can't. Oh, Nessa, I am so proud of you, girl. I am just so excited. Could I be his Aunt Kale? Please. Just, Nessa, Aunt Kale. Also, James is Episcopalian, so I could totally be his godmother. Just think about it. Guess who was in my neck of the woods? Dr. Fit and Fabulous. That's right. Not only did she place in the top 15 in the Mrs. America competition, then she went to South Carolina where she let some Navy SEAL yell at her for 24 hours. No sleeping, no stopping, just walking for 24 hours. That girl is cray. She took off her heels from Mrs. America, stopped by Nebraska, yanked some babies out of vaginas, and then went to South Carolina to do this walking thing. Jamie, I love you, girl. I love you, but please sit down. Let me come rub those feet, girl. We can have a little tickle fight, a massage, whatever you're into. We can watch some TV. Do you even own a TV, Jamie? Come on, sit down. Making the rest of us look bad. And that is it for the Kale. All right, I'm gonna throw it back to the angry news lady. Peace, y'all. Peace. Thank you, Kale. That was stupid, but maybe less stupid than last time. Maybe. I do have a few carnivore family updates before we wrap this thing up. Dr. Barry and his wife Nisha lost their beloved family dog, and we send them our deepest condolences. Dr. Baker is doing 200 push-ups per day, and I would like to congratulate his exercise bike on a very well-earned vacation. Steak and Butter Gal is currently just Steak Gal, since she's doing a 30-day steak-only challenge. Best of luck to you, Bella. Linda the Carnitarian has started a churro craze made with hive-cut pork belly. The recipe is below. Judy Cho, Laura Spath, they started a podcast called Against the Grain. It's fire, and it's linked below. Sylvia Tabor and Vanessa Spina, they've restarted an MCT oil powder craze that I don't quite understand, but it's linked below. Dr. Robert Sivas has a new video about feeding baby carnivore brains. Yep. It's below. And Carnivore Aurelius is still sunning his family jewels, which are definitely below, as is the link to his Instagram account. And that's it, folks. I hope you'll continue sharing the benefits of carb elimination and the joys of carnivory. There are still people out there hurting and suffering needlessly. Let's encourage people to cut the junk from their diet, eat plenty of fatty meat, get some sun, move your body, touch someone, and to have a little fun. Our life and health depend on it. As always, eat the meat, save the humans. Good night. Science for years, Miss Bonner, and we ended up, dang it, the light isn't even on. Let's continue to encourage people to cut out the junk from our, so much spit. Norna Allen said, we haven't seen, what is happening with the lamp? What are you showing up for now? You've been here the whole time. Now you want to show up. That would have been valuable information to mention. Valuable information to mention, Miss Allen. That would have been valuable information to mention, Miss Allen, which are linked below. Excuse me. I draw a hard line at vaginal pain. A hard line. A hard line at vaginal.